Hi, this is Tom Jacobs from tdjacobs.com. I'm an evolutionary astrologer and also a channel and an energy worker. And this is the sixth video in the series of Lilith, True Black Moon Lilith in the natal houses. This is obviously in the sixth house. I want to, as I'm trying to start all these videos off by saying I use the true black moon or the oscillating apogee, not the mean position. The mean position is what is most readily available, and most astrologers talking about Lilith in the chart are talking about the mean position. For me, it's like asking a Barbie doll what a woman is like. It's this plasticized version trying to control what it is. And the true black moon, it's kind of zigzags in the chart. So if you want my full picture on how I deal with Lilith, the book Lilith Healing the Wild is available, and also the Lilith Intensive, a 7-hour MP3 set from my site, tdjacobs.com. And also the True Black Moon Lilith report will delineate your own oscillating apogee or true black moon, and that's available through tdjacobs.com too. So the sixth house is the part of the chart that's about learning to work as part of a team, learning to be of service, learning to back burner egoic concerns and desires, learning to be useful and be helpful. So it's all the parts of life that fit into that category. The sixth house is always where we learn through unequal relationships. So master-apprentice, master-slave, they fit here as well. And also just where you're on a team, and there are a bunch of you on a team, and then there's a coach or a leader. There's an imbalance of power there. The same way at work environments, and also when you are of service in various ways. One person has power, the other person may not. One person may be learning something, like on all my astrology classes, it's a sixth house kind of deal, because I have some refined, specialized skills that I'm teaching people. And so they're learning. So as humans, we're equals, but in that context, there's an imbalance of power. And that's kind of what the sixth house is about. Sixth house is also about, when we really get down into it, like the first house is the house of the body and the personality and how we show up and kind of how the body is seeming to function, like this outward appearance of how the body is. The sixth house is about health in terms of the minute processes that go on under the surface. I'll get into more of this when we get into this Lilith bit. Now the true black moon Lilith, the oscillating apogee, is about the need to operate according to instinct. It is a lower chakra wisdom of the natural world, wisdom of the cycles of nature that exist within our bodies. And we have these visceral biochemical, hormonal, endocrinological yes and no's, yeses and no's. We have very clear instinctive reactions, and they're visceral, they're tied to our bodies. So something might look good on paper, but then when you're actually touching it or in that situation, no, this is wrong. So the true black moon Lilith, the need to live according to instinct and to listen to the body and to develop autonomy and self-trust and listen to those biochemical hormonal cues in the house of health, service, learning about responsibility and navigating duty and being of help to other people. So if you have true black moon Lilith in the sixth house, you might find yourself agreeing to help people and realize your skin's crawling and you can't keep doing it. But then you say, but I wanted to be of help, what's wrong here? Because it's this thing you can't explain. The true black moon Lilith is that lower chakra, which is pre-rational, right? Your mind is up here in the sixth chakra. And Lilith is down in the root chakra. Your body is saying, don't do this. Okay. Also in how you experience imbalance within relationship. Again, those relationships where you might be learning something. The other person has something that they're teaching. You might find power problems within that because somebody else might respond to you instinctively, or you might respond to them instinctively. There can be some kind of power struggle in there with that. And then we get into this huge thing about Lilith being made wrong. And you think about teamwork and places where you work with colleagues. You might become the person who's made wrong for raising your hand or having an idea or saying no to this task or yes to that one. You might find that kind of scapegoat kind of thing that can come with the true black moon in there. Also, this thing about health, this thing about the body and health and the minute processes of the body. In the sixth house and in the archetype of Virgo as well, there's this need to pick things apart, pick up apart big things into their constituent parts, smaller parts, fix those, and then put it back together. So essentially, you're aiming to do detail-oriented work, but you're trying to fix the whole. Regarding health, food, daily routines, how much sleep you're getting, how much exercise you're getting, what kind of exercise you're getting, all those things are concerns for the sixth house, with the idea that we have to fine-tune how things work. So regarding what you eat, with True Black Moon Lilith in the sixth house, it's critical that you pay attention to how your body responds to what you eat. How it responds to supplements, how it responds, I just got the image of kinesiology or muscle testing is what I mean, where immediately you have a sense of if this works for you or not. That's a very good tool for Lilith in general, but Lilith in the sixth house especially, because your body is going to respond to things that aren't working well. Now, regarding autonomy, you're going to find situations at work and in team situations where you're supposed to be a team player, where you need more autonomy than you're being given. That's kind of just a thing that's going to happen. And so you have to navigate these power structures to create autonomy, and so you can have self-respect. It might be that somebody is inclined to try to keep you down because Lilith people tend to be seen as the problem, or, like I said, scapegoating can happen. And so somebody might actually give you work to do that looks normal, but is actually meant to demean you, or the way they do it is meant to put you down. There's a navigation here of making sure that you create self-respect and autonomy. So that's going to be true with, you think about when you're a little kid and how families typically expect their kids to eat a certain way, right? The family will, over time, the family will learn about how the kid needs to eat and not eat. But with Lilith in the sixth house, you're going to have very clear visceral reactions to different kinds of foods. And I'm not talking about never wanting green vegetables when you're 2 years old. I'm not talking about that kind of biological taste bud development thing that's an evolutionary adaptation to make sure that we don't eat a bunch of stuff out in the woods we don't know what it is when we're really young. A lot of times vegetables will taste terrible to us for that. I'm not for that reason. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, in a family of vegetarians, you need meat, or in a family of meat eaters, you need to be a vegetarian. There's like this really strong visceral reaction. All Lilith situations have one person bucking the status quo. So in that kind of case, and even now in adulthood, as you deal with healthcare and food, you might find yourself in a context bucking the system, and somebody or many people trying to make you wrong for making it harder for everybody. Lilith must develop self-trust and autonomy, and the self-trust comes from listening to those cues in the body, those yes/no cues, and then the self-trust comes from being willing to go with that, to run with that. Lilith people can sometimes attract power over power under abusive scenarios. And one of the points I'm trying to make in Lilith Healing the Wild and everything that I do with the True Black Moon Lilith and the natal report as well, is to help you understand that if you own this with self-respect, and you own Lilith within you without apology, you cease creating external power struggles. So in the sixth house, at work, regarding food, regarding healthcare, regarding being on a team, being part of a group effort, if you've been made wrong for being Lilith in one of these arenas, just understand you are cycling through the need to trust yourself more. You may need to remove yourself from certain scenarios, but before that, definitely you need to create some self-respect and stop being apologetic about the need to be different, unique, and autonomous. So check out all those resources about Lilith at tdjacobs.com, and I'm including the links in the video description below. Thanks for your time and energy, and stay tuned. I'm finishing up the series here over the next week or so. Bye-bye.